that will weed out the weasels opposed to the Prince Charmings. Because the
Okay.
Prince Charmings are going to be like, okay, I'm good with that. The weasels are going to be just like he was at the end of the day. Nah, I'm good, ma. Have a good night. Eh, eh, I hope you find what you're looking for. So yeah, yeah. You have a very good point.
uh, what do you think, Sister Annie?
Well, this is what I was going to ask. Could the reason that she's not, well, okay, so she said that she's a virgin, but she's open to some tingling for herself, right?
Correct.
Could the reason for her not having relations, could the reason be, or could the reasoning behind that be something that's of importance? Meaning, like me, it's a spiritual and a huge, like it's bigger than just I just wanted to be with the right guy. I wanted to be with a guy that's spending a lot of time with me. So let's say, like, if her conviction to not having sex is not necessarily attached to some moral thing, that she's a little open to maybe doing that. So that's why she was open to, like, maybe flirting just a little bit, because maybe, yeah, I'm saying that I won't do it, but maybe the right guy will have me to do it. And it's not just marriage. Like, I know that she said until she gets married, but sometimes people say that because it sounds good, but that's not really how they're feeling. So, like, if the right guy with the right touches comes around, then you're open to it. So now that's why your conversation gets a little bit more relaxed. um,
That's a good point, Ane. That's a very good point.
because
Because
it's too easy to just have that little.
right.
Because
Hmm.
there's some conversations with guys that when they start, like, I can tell, like, when a guy is trying to, like, slide the conversation over a little bit, and when I'm sensing even that it kind of seems like that, I make a hard left. I'm not. Even if you ain't mean it that way, I'm gonna leave. But there may be some guys that, like, maybe because I am interested, and there may be something there that I let a conversation go a little longer than I know
Right.
that it should, because it may be tempting. Yeah, but go ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. That's it. I think the right guy can open up that lock. If that dude was patient enough, let's say he went on 3 dates, he probably could have got it
Mm-hmm.
because she was already open. She was already open to him. And by you saying, and that's a very good point, by you saying, we can go upstairs, and if kissing comes, it comes, whatever. Once you open up that door, listen, man, once you smoke one crack, it you can't stop in the rest of the cracks that come out. You know,
Good
you know
evening.
what I'm saying? So, so I agree with you, darling. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, even if you keep telling me you're a vegan, but yeah, I can hear your stomach growling. I hear your stomach growling.
So, what is the topic?
Hey, Pagoda.
Pagoda.
Pagoda, what's going on, man?
Okay.
Pagoda, let me ask you a question, Pagoda. Pagoda, when should you tell somebody that you're a virgin if you start dating them? When should you tell them?
I don't know. Maybe when stuff are starting to move towards intercourse, I think.
Why wait till that point?
I said start a move, not when you go, not in the 10th date.
Yeah, I understand where you come from, but I'm saying, why wait? Why not tell somebody up front, hey, I'm not interested in sex. I'm more interested in finding a good companion. Why not? Why not tell them up front? I'm
Actually, I don't see a reason why not.
Huh?
Actually, I don't see a big reason why not.
Yeah.
I think maybe in the 3rd or 4th date.
The 4th date?
Maybe.
all you girls out there, you can have free dates with Pagoda. You can get paid. You can go out. Pagoda's gonna pay for $300 dates for you, and he's not gonna. You don't have to even tell him what's gonna go down.
First of all, in the first date, I'm taking the woman to a coffee shop to have a little drink and talk. I'm not taking her in the first date to any expensive stuff. I learned the hard way that that's not a good idea.
Okay. Well, how about the second date?
Maybe to a bowling.
Okay. So you take her first date. You take her to the coffee shop. The next date, you're gonna take her to bowling, right?
Yeah, or to a restaurant.
Okay. Let's say you take her to a restaurant.
Yeah, I will find some place cheap.
What's a cheap restaurant? McDonald's? You
No.
take her to McDonald's? Burger King? Where are you taking her?
No. I think there is, of the restaurants called Black? Not Black. How you call this? There is a restaurant groups
Black
that
Angus?
called what?
Black Angus steak restaurant?
No. It's a hamburger restaurant. It's called Black something or Dark. I think it has a logo of a Satan.
Oh.
Satan. I'm definitely not going there.
Just a second.
Okay.
It's not cheap there, but you know what? Forget that I said it.
So you taking it on the second day to a hamburger joint, right?
No, not to a hamburger. I think, like I said, to a bowling, maybe to see.
Hold on, wise decision, chef. Wise decision. Wise, very wise, young man. Okay, go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like I said, maybe to do bowling, or to take her to, maybe, don't know. I will think about something.
Okay.
Maybe to a movie if there is a movie that I want to see.
The point is, how many dates are you going to take her out, and then at some point you're going to want to push the issue of, or at least put this to discussion on the table of maybe coming in contact sexually with this person, right? How many dates are you going to wait until you put that?
I'm going. If you're trying to ask me in which date I'm going to start getting my hands on her, maybe in the fourth date I would.
I'm not even talking about you getting your hands on her.
It's a little embarrassing that we talk about it when we have any here.
We'll go to calm down. I'm not trying to ask you when you're gonna put your hands on her. Just
no, excuse me.
You're gonna have a conversation first, right?
What?
You're going to have a conversation before you start actually putting your hands on her or putting whatever on her. You're going to have a conversation with her first, right?
Yeah, you know what?
Prove, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so my question is, when does that conversation come up?
If I can ask her if it's okay for me to kiss her or stuff, maybe in the fourth date.
Okay, fourth date, right? What if she says, what kind of girl do you think I am? I'm saving myself for marriage. But I'll keep going on these dates with you. You keep spending this money, I'll keep going on these dates with you.
For a first date, just for a kiss?
No, you can't have a kiss. The kiss is for my husband. Are you ready to become my husband? What if she hits you with that?
I don't think that no girl will say that to you in the first date.
What?
I don't think that a woman in the first date will say that to you. And you know what you remind me of? The first woman that I had in bed with, she also said, I want to keep it until the wedding and stuff. And it took a little bit of time, but in the end, I got her to bed. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Oh man, Pagoda, I don't even want to think about you with that axle grease. Holy smokes. Yikes.
Yikes. She said in the end, okay. It was with her permission, Don't get the wrong idea.
Okay, of course. Sister Annie, you had a question, then we're gonna go to Jay.
Okay. Hey Jay, real quick. So let's say you spend the money, the man spends the money, and then you realize this for you too, Vagoda. because with what you just said, would you feel like you wasted your money if after the 4th date and then you try to kiss her and then she says, "Hey, I'm not ready for that"? Like, will you then feel like those 4 dates were wasted? Oh no, don't get quiet now. Would you feel like those dates were wasted?
You ask me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, I thought you asked the other guy here. First of all, I'm not to go. If this woman in the 4th date doesn't want even to give me a kiss, that probably she has a problem in her or something. Of course, I'm. You know what? I don't have a problem to wait even to the 5th date, but still, I have there's a limit. Come on.
Okay, see. That's why I wanted to know when the conversation, not so much later where you're going to be like, oh well, when are you going to get on the when are you going to actually put your hands on her or actually get physical with her? Just we wanted to know when's the conversation even start. I think that conversation, if somebody makes it clear what their intention is, right? Sex, money, whatever. Then maybe you should get that clear up front. Anyway, let me move on to Jay, and then we move around to Bolo, and then we move around to Sister Annie. Jay, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked everybody else. When should you tell somebody that you're a virgin and you're saving your rod and staff for the right woman?
That is a really weird question.
What do you mean it was so weird? When do you tell a woman that hey, you're saving the rod for for your marriage, the day you get married?
She gonna be like, "After I'm out." We need to be real.
Well,
we're talking about. I'm gonna tell you this. This only applies to Eastern women. That would make more sense. Western women are not like that at all. No woman is going to wait. That is crazy.
There's some will.
No. I'm talking about majority. I talk about minority. Minute is the minute. When you're talking about the ones you want to save yourself the money, you're talking about full blown religious Christians or full blown like Saudi Islamic faith, things of that nature. You're talking about that. That only applies to Christians. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. That applies to the majority of them when you're saying that, because when you're saying when I'm saving myself for that. That means I follow the Bible to the T because I'm a former Christian, mind you. I know exactly what we're told. You say this shit into marriage, man and woman, not just ladies, dudes too. You don't do shit, nothing, no fornication, none of that non-shit, and you only save it to when y'all get married on the wedding day.
Okay.
Not the honeymoon. I'm talking about the day you get married is when you actually do it.
Okay.
But Jay, wasn't the question if you were deciding to wait? So his question was if you're deciding to wait. So it's a decision that you've made for whatever reason, spiritual or whatever. Mm-hmm. When you've decided that you're going to wait, when do you tell a woman that you're going to wait? Or maybe I misunderstood the question.
No. That's exactly what I was asking.
Okay, it would be right off the rip then. If I was, because I'm thinking about it, I can only see this, you saying something like this if you're Christian. So I'm going to put my mind in there. And say if I was still Christian, I would tell her off rip. Even if I wasn't, I would tell you off rip. No, I'm going to have sex till marriage. That's what I do. Simple enough. If you can't agree to those terms, hey man, sayonara.
Okay.
I'm gonna be blunt about it. I don't have time for games. I'm 31 years old. I don't have time for this back and forth play. Like I don't do chase. I don't do none of these stupid dumb mind games that people like to do just to waste someone's time. My time is important to me now. And if you are, and guess what? If you're getting away of me or my studying, of me building myself up, please get the hell away from me.
How old are you? You said you are
31 years old. I'm about to be 32 this week coming up. So I don't have time for
42. Whoa.
Yeah, I know I don't look it, so I'm happy about that too. But
okay.
but no, brother Clarence, that's what you're supposed to do. You be up front. If you're a man of your word, of your truth, and you are what you say you are, the character you are, you'll tell her up front. You're not play games. As much as I'd like to, listen, as much as I like to be one of these cats out here to be like, yo, man, I just want to get my rocks off and shit like that. I'm like, no. If you're about what you'll say, you'll tell her off rip. It's gonna sound crazy to her in her brain, but a person of like, I guess, who practices what is that? Who practices restraint and is about what they've been brought to believe, and I guess putting in practice, women of like probably the Eastern mindset will agree to that, because there's nothing wrong with that, particularly because they're trying to get to know you still.
So you saying Western women don't want to get to know you?
No. Majority? No.
Yes, Patrice, we're still at it.
No, we're not at it. I just came on here. I'm gonna give my little brief, and also I actually want to let everybody here know something real quick, because this pertains to the topic. No one's getting a baby out of me outside of marriage. When it comes to me, sweetheart, I'm not sweetheart. You're not getting anything out of me until we are married.
Okay.
That's really what it is.
How is that possible?
Breaking up some.
How is that possible? Protection, brother.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
How is that possible? You know how it's possible.
I don't know what you're gonna do, right?
There's two things you can do, and I don't recommend number two. I recommend number one. Protection on all ends.
Okay.
The correct way during the marriage, then you're good. Okay. This is something I'm planning for. I'm not doing this willy-nilly. Like, hey man, this is a good time out of the barking trees. I'm not doing all that.
I think, Jay, I think a lot of people think like that in the beginning, man. You know, a lot of people have said, I'm going to protect myself. There is no 100% protection unless it's abstinence, my G. There is no 100%. You dig what I'm saying? If that condom breaks while you're having sex and you don't know, you know what I'm saying, the potential of her being pregnant is high. You know what I mean? So, I can understand that you, in that thought process of saying, I don't intend to do it. But if you're going to stay 100% adamant on saying, I'm not giving nobody a child until I am married, then the only way you can 100% say that is if you stay abstinent. Because there's a lot of people that thought that way and ended up, the woman gets pregnant and she's thinking, I'm not, I don't want a child neither. And then when that, life is in her, it changes the whole thought process and vice versa. She may say, I don't want the child. And he might have been, in agreement with it. And when he realizes she's pregnant and that father thing hits him, he wants to be a father. So if that's the thought process that I don't want to give no woman my child until I'm married, then the 100% way of not having that happen is by not having sex. Right. But to answer the question that Ane asked, it should be from the jump. It should be, you should tell that man or woman what your situation is first date. Find a way to bring it in. Find a way to bring it in. You know what I'm saying? You just don't, sit down. Hey, how you doing? Ane, how you doing? I'm a virgin. I ain't having sex until I'm married. I don't think you would do that. I don't think you would do it that way. But as the conversation grows and you're letting her know that this is where I am in my life, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a Christian. You dig what I'm saying? It's wherever that man or woman is in their life. And they're saying, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I do my best within my human power to make sure that I strategically plan. And I'm letting you know that I'm a virgin and I don't plan on giving up my body until that man or woman that I meet, that's there for me. I would give them that option to let them know this is what it is. But I think it's the way it's presented, right? I can present something to you on a garbage can lid and you not eat it. And I can present something on the finest china and you do. What's the difference? The presentation.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I got a question. Oh, well, Annie, you got something you want to throw in there real quick?
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so
can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. Do any of you guys have disagree with what Bolo said about the 100% protection being abstinence? Does anybody have a disagreement with that?
I don't, but a few women will.
Who?
I just said no.
Okay, you said a woman will, Jay?
Yeah, sex is important to them.
What? Sex is important to them. Now, here's the question, Jay. Is sex important to women? To men? It's triple important to men, right? But here's the question. And here's the question for all of y'all. If sex is important, is it important to the type of, is it important to all women, or is it important to the type of women you're attracted to? Meaning
That's
that there
the
might
question.
be.
I like that one. I think it's important. It's important to the one it's important to the probably not just okay. The one that that looks really good that you just want to like, I guess, like let one out with. Then I guess in terms of that, but there are other women particularly who, I guess, I don't want to say born again virgins. That sounds so stupid every time I hear it in my brain. People women who are actually practicing the abstinence, they will be okay with it particularly. But also, other women will get in their head and say, "What is wrong with you? He hasn't had sex with you. You haven't done shit. You just been like doing shit." Like it goes to her influence table that'll get in there picking her brain and things like that. And also on the dudes' end, they're okay. This is 50-50 with the guys. Men who are about like building their business and things like that, they'll talk to me, be like, "I think you're doing a good thing, brother. Hey man, do you? If it's build yourself up, I think it's better, and it's better that you keep practicing your code and moral." On the other hand, one of my homeboys will probably be like, "Bruh, I get you trying to do that, but that's crazy." So you see what I'm saying? So you'll get both sides of the spectrum when it comes to that. So yes, the woman you may be attracted to with, you'll most likely want to take the car first to see if it's good, to see if she'll stay around or things like that. But that's not a woman worth keeping personally in my mind. The one that I practice the abstinence one, that might be what you're kind of like going for. Like you'll have to pick the lesser of two evils, brother. You know what I mean?
I got a little pushback on that. I got a little pushback.
This one has more longevity.
I got a little pushback on that, Jay. I think sex is important to both men and women. Period. I think it's very important. I just think where that man or woman is in their life, how they prioritize it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if that's what you were trying to say. I think sex is important. Everybody wants sex. I think the prioritization of it in that man or woman's life is how they how they stack it up. Some people are very, they see what they are, they want what they want, and sex is up there. But I think sex is important to everyone. There is no man or no woman that don't want sex, especially if you have it. Now, depending on where you are in your life, depending on where you are in your life, is how you prioritize it and say, sex is important, but right now I need to make sure I become that man that I need to be, so that when I meet that woman, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to be that husband before I become that husband, and vice versa. I need to be that wife before I become that wife. So sex is inevitable. What's not inevitable? The other four: the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental. That's where a lot of us fail at, and why a lot of us have divorces and why relationships don't work, because we don't work on those three opposed to working on the fourth, which is the physical.
Okay, so
I can see what you're saying, and the thing is, I did say women do care about it, but I also said men do too. But I wanted to preface by saying I did say men too after that, but I said women first particularly, because how you pleasure a woman is how women perceive the sex from the man particularly is very important to them, and also, like I said, it provides the longevity particularly. It's a factor. I will say that it's a big factor of the whole thing, but it shouldn't be the main thing running your relationship.
Now, but here's my question. Okay, so yes, sex is important to everyone, I believe. I agree with both on that. This sex is important to everybody. Now, the question becomes: if you're in a relationship with someone, or you trying to develop a relationship with someone, and you tell them, hey, look, I told you from the jump, I'm saving myself for marriage. Now, here's where I don't think women are as easily get caught up as men do, right? If you got the kids in the room, maybe I might want to walk out of the room, because I'm about to get just a little.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? We know,
man. Some people are washing dishes right now. Some people are washing dishes. They out in the front yard. I know it's only 5 of us here, but one of them are out there. One of them got some kids running around, right? So anyway, so
Okay,
Unfortunately,
okay. I want to say something. Make a rule for that before y'all do something like that.
yeah, man, I should have thought about that, man.
Your house when they're at school. God damn it, or you have a day off.
Yeah, make sure.
That's
Let me put
crazy.
some. Let me
I've
put
never
something
heard
up here
somebody
right now.
say that. You're like, no,
You're
bro.
right,
I'm like, bro, our kids are here. Let's go do it. No, I'm not doing that.
Let me make something right now.
That's
here
wild.
we go.
Never heard that.
All right. Here we go. All right, so take the kids out of the room.
Kids out the room.
Take the kids out of the room.
That. Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna fix that
real
quick.
Give them to my sister-in-law to like look after or some shit, or like yo, don't care, bro.
Yeah, we don't.
Crazy.
We don't want the kid because I'm gonna get explicit for a second. Okay, women have many erogenous zones, right? However, men pretty much have one or two, right? Erogenous zones, right? Where all a woman has to do is apply a little pressure at these erogenous zones, and the party's going to get started, right? The party's going to get started. So my point is, when we think about it, and we want to stick to our we call it our creed, our code of conduct, or whatever, how we're going to run our lives. Hey, I'm going to save myself for marriage or whatever, right? The problem is men are at a disadvantage in that situation, in my opinion, because they're more susceptible to erogenous manipulation. Whereas I think women, because they have so many zones, they're not as you got to kind of do a little more work. Whereas with men, man, one touch and go, right? We ready to go. If you come in contact with the right location, we're up and running, right? So my question is this. Well, let me ask y'all this. This is a whole nother question. I just thought about this one. And I think this is a good one. Would you respect somebody that told you on the 5th date, hey, I am saving myself for marriage, male or female? I am saving myself for marriage, and I appreciate what you're doing, but I can no longer stay here because I see where this is going. I got to leave because I'm trying to save myself for, the right one. I hope you that person, but we'll find out down the road. But right now, I'm not ready for this because I promised myself I would save myself for my husband, wife, et cetera, et cetera. Would any of y'all respect that person?
Yeah.
I would. I would, because at the end of the day, by having conversations, listen, if I'm dating a Nate and it gets to the 5th date and the Nate tells me, now, I'm saving myself for my husband. I already knew that. Either you want to blind yourself and
Correct.
think that you can conquer it, or you already knew. So we know what the truth is. We just choose not to believe it and continue pushing forward. But no, you already knew, man. So yeah, if they tell me directly, but if I'm dating you, that means I'm having conversations with you. That means we're spending time together. That means we're conversing together. So that means I already knew. So yeah, I would respect you.
What about you, Jay? 5th date. Fifth date, woman comes out and says, Jay, what are you doing? I'm not that kind of girl. I told you, I'm waiting for when I get married. How would you feel about that?
Well, see, if she told me once, I wouldn't have pursued it after the second time. I don't see. I take everybody on their first word because I don't like misunderstandings. I don't like what's the word? Mixed signals. None of that BS. In this case, I'm trying not to cuss y'all, but things like that. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. But but the thing is, you gotta know communication is key. Like what everything my brother Bull said is actually incorrect because I'm a big proprietor of that. Communication is key. Signals are key. Body language. I do all those things. I pay attention to all those things you're doing. Particularly, even if you invite me, if I see any resistance, whatever, I know you're saving yourself. And guys, and listen to anybody who heard me just say that. I'm not forcing myself, so don't get that twisted when I say that. If I see me trying to make an attempt or a leap, then I see you trying to I know what it is. Simple enough. I know it is. I haven't had that happen, but you study enough and been enough encounters to know what will lead to what. So yeah, I've been in enough of those situations, so I kind of know where it goes.
Well, look. Oh, go ahead, man.
So you need to be that's the word I'm looking for. You need to be aware of it, and you need to make sure you are paying attention to all things that are in front of you.
Agreed.
If she tells me that, I will respect it. Honestly, I respect anybody's choices because it's like I said, it's your choice at the end of the day. Just like it's my choice to save myself for that. Simple enough.
Okay. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how it goes down in Israel. We'll go to.
It's almost 1 in the morning.
Hey, we'll go to look.
Yeah.
You go out, you on your 5th day, right? You're at the hamburger spot where you told her, right? You told us you could take her to the hamburger spot, right? So yeah, you're at the hamburger spot. She told you in the beginning that she wants to save herself, but you, like Bolo was talking about, you think you're the man that can unlock the open sesame, right? You can remove the big rock, right? So you think, hey, you know what? That's okay, yeah, you want to be, and then you think if I just keep putting this axle grease down, eventually she's gonna slip right into the trap, right? Now. But she sees it coming already, right? So she tells you, hey, look, man, I told you when we were having conversations, I'm just not interested in that. I've been down that road. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm saving myself for my husband. And, and if you can't accept that, I understand. We probably can't date anymore. But I just want to remind you, are you going to respect that? How are you going to feel about that?
If she tells me that she can't even give me a kiss, that definitely will piss me off.
No.
In the 5th date.
No kiss. Nothing. Nada.
Nada, then bye-bye. I don't have a problem to wait. I'm a patient person, but there's a limit, God damn it.
No,
what is she? Is an Orthodox or something?
She gonna say, I told you, Vagoda, from the beginning. I am not that kind of a girl, Vagoda. I'm not. And I told you I'm saving myself for my husband. But I'll still keep going on these hamburger dates with you. But I'm saving myself for my husband, Vagoda. Now come on, let's go bowling.
Let's bowling.
Oh, yo, brother. I want to ask
also, I'm going to throw you a link. I found the specific hamburger the logo of the hamburger that I told you. You can see it for yourself. I'm going to throw it in the comments.
No. Throw it in the back chat, Pagoda. Not in the comments.
Okay. I have a little bit of just a second. I am using my cellular. Just a second.
But brother Clarence, I want to add this when you said that because I didn't think someone would do that. Like if you're not gonna kiss me or whatsoever, and I can't kiss you particularly, you might as well just be my friend who's a freaking female.
Right.
Seriously, or you might be a sibling at that point because I'm not doing it. Because I'll be real, I ain't got time for that shit. Because sweetheart, if I love you, I'll love you hard, and if I can't display any type of affection towards you, I might as well be a creation. You might be a doll or something not hang on the wall. That doesn't make any sense to me. Listen, I honestly don't do no Netflix and chill with no ladies. I don't do that. I don't have time for that nonsense. That's stuff I do with friends where we just chilling and stuff. This is like my day off to chill with my friends, dudes, any of that stuff. Sweetheart, we do something completely different from that branch of chilling.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm not gonna give you freaking like friendship time. That don't make any sense to me at all. But other clients, I will say this. You know how they say your wife partner should be lover, friend, in a home, things like that. You should be all those things. Sweetheart, we're not even at like past step 1, step 2, step 3. So you can't even be any of those things for me. That evolves. I think Brother Buller would agree with this. As you're married to someone, it evolves further into that. But
yes.
When you're just meeting someone, we complete freaking strangers. This has to dial up to that.
Correct.
But if we can't even get past like certain steps, there's a all right. Like I can go bowling by myself, or with my with my boy Kyrie and PJ Tucker, or some shit like that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jay. What if? And this is for all of you guys. Right? What if the other person is just fun? They're just a fun person to hang out with. The only thing that's missing is a romantic, physical relationship. They're fun. They're funny.
If you exclude that, then we're just friends. Simple enough.
Well, let me.
But see, I don't really understand. Okay, I'm sorry, Brother Clarence. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to bring you in. So go ahead. Go ahead, Annie, because I was going to bring you in.
I think the thing that's becoming are you able to hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
for me at least, I'm thinking in a relationship, I want to be friends. Like, because you're not gonna even like say when you get married, you love your husband, you love your wife. Sometimes you don't really like them,
Yes.
and you got to realize how you're going to treat them when you don't necessarily like them. But so for me, in that friendship, I start developing understanding who they are as a person, them taking the time to understand who I am as a person. What do we actually enjoy doing together? So I would not want to, even if it's just that I'm being physical with somebody, I wouldn't want to be physical with somebody I couldn't be a friend with. So the friendship thing, where does that get nurtured? If the intent is just always to figure out if you're going to get to be, lay with this person. So where's the friendship building happening?
Well, I want to say this. I think the friendship building happens when you have gone past that little, I guess, like we want to call it, your brother Clarence, what stage did you call that? Whenever you like, y'all got this testing waters, and then y'all start vibing, and then after that, y'all start.
I put it in the comments.
And then I see it. You start going on dates, and then after that, you guys, once you're like actually like together, you get that friendly bond that's spending together through dates. Y'all can go bowling together. Y'all can do all that other stuff. But to say,
so you were just saying,
if you've had a male friend that you've been friends for a while, he should be the template of what you're looking for. Actually, it should be him. And the reason why I'm going to say that to y'all ladies, because it's right in front of y'all. Friends, then you grow men influence over one another, and then you get married. We're talking a lot. Because you have all that stuff you had in common, and it works. Now that you're married, it's just solidified. You can still do the same things y'all were doing. The difference is you have bigger responsibilities, and you're more romantically inclined. So I think that's how it goes right there.
I'm gonna, I'm just thinking about for myself at least. I want somebody that I can talk to late at night about stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds so much like a friend.
That's all of us want.
But that's the point. That's the point that I was making. On what Anae is saying. What Anae is talking about is the absolute truth, my G. It's the absolute truth. For the physical, it takes nothing for me to be attracted to you. What does it take? You got a fat behind. You got nice breasts. I like your face. I like your lips. Bam, I'm attracted to you. What else do you need to nurture on that? Please explain it. Someone. Explain to me what I need to nurture on that, other than I'm attracted to you and she's attracted to me. What do you need to nurture? It's the other three that fails. This is why the relationships don't work, because people are not getting into relationships knowing that it's work. They're getting into relationships thinking that it's just about sex and it's about happiness. They don't know that it's about work. They don't know that you're going to have to get down dirty. They don't know that mentally you have to be there for each other. Spiritually, you have to be that spiritual leader for her. Yes. And emotionally, be sensitive at the same time.
Yes.
That's where that friendship thing comes in, and you're more than just a sexual partner. Because if you can be attracted to someone physically, if you got that mentally, emotionally, and spiritually going at the same time, there is no time that she's not thinking about you or he's not thinking about you.
Yes. Right. Agreed. Yeah. Definitely agreed.
Brother Bull hit it on the head. That's why I said so many marriages fail, because my parents are still together, and they told me, like I said, it's work.
Because it wasn't sex that they were. It wasn't sex that they were only counting on. because that
Exactly.
sex is temporal.
Yes, it comes and goes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So when a is saying, I want to be able to talk to someone. When you see them people that's 230 years old in Walmart holding each other's hands, that's not based on sex, my G.
It's not. It's based on freaking actual freaking intertwining.
It's based on the other three. It's based on the other three. Those three are paramount. Now, don't get it twisted. Sex will be paramount for a little bit. That's the attraction. That's what gets me into the door. When I go looking for a car, I gotta like it. Or I'm not getting into it. I gotta like it. I don't care about what it does. I gotta like it. Now, once I like it, now I'm reading the instruction manual. Is it good on gas? Is it not good on gas? Is this, that, and the third? Now, that's gonna either deter me or attract me more. And this is a thing that men and women already have. She's either attracted to you or she's not. If she is, that opens the door for her dealing with you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If she's at that place in her life. And the same thing with men. If they're at that place in their life where they're like, you know what, I'm tired of the games. I want to settle down. I'm looking for something more than just physical, because post-nut clarity is real. Real, my G. Because once you have that climax, now you really look at this person and say, what is this person good for?
Yeah.
Brother Bo, I love you. What is this person good for? That's my dude.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you have that connection to her, if you have that connection to her and you have that connection to him, it goes way beyond that. Way beyond it.
Yeah, you need way more for a good. You need more than intercourse for a good relationship. You need to be in contact with have a good contact with each other.
Now that's the best thing I ever heard Pagoda say. Best thing I ever heard him say.
Thank you very much.
Shout out to Pagoda.
Say, Clarence, why you don't want to show the funny logo that I sent you the link to?
Because it's in Hebrew, man. Even though we can't read it, it's in Hebrew.
But still, you have the picture. It's funny.
Yeah, but we got a bunch. But this is America. The hamburger was born here. Come on, man. We got hamburgers everywhere. That's not no big deal.
But you don't want to see the funny logo with the Satan?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All the writing is in Hebrew, Pagoda. None of us can read Hebrew. Well, maybe Bolo. I don't know. But none of us know. The rest of us can't read no Hebrew.
Hey,
maybe
Pagoda,
you and Bolo, maybe.
I'll try to read it. I'll try to read Hebrew in the future. That's seriously, man. Once I've mastered my Japanese, I'm almost done. I'll try.
There is some English in it, you know. You can.
Yeah, I saw a little bit, right?
Yeah, but still, you can see the logo with the Satan, and it says black, and you have the.
I saw that, man. I saw that, Pagoda. Come on, but we got hamburgers here, man.
That's a wonderful place to take a girl to in the second or third date. No.
Go ahead and take her over there. How much does a hamburger? Pagoda, can she get a combo, or she got to just get the hamburger by herself? Can she get some fries and a drink?
Yeah, but it's not cheap. There specifically, it's not cheap, but they have a good food.
All right, y'all. Because I got another question I want to ask y'all. Okay, so
you can take her to to take sushi or to take falafel.
Yes, now falafel is good. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's cheap, and I think I will save it for a first date, but still, it's good.
Okay. Well, my point is, hey, everybody should put all their cards on the table. Put it like this: they should put relevant cards on the table, right? I'm not saying you got to go and, hey, I brought all my personal documents to this date, right? Here's my social security card. Here's everything. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you know that one of the basic reasons why a person is trying to date you, and that is a very relevant thing, that person should know whether they got a chance at that happening or not, in my opinion, right? If it's like if a woman wants to know, hey, I'm dating this man and I'm interested in matrimony, right? We starting from here, but my goal is to find a person that I can marry. Well, if the guy not interested in marriage, I think he should put that on the table. Hey, I know you're looking for this, but I'm not interested in that. I just want to have fun. I just want to date women, have casual sex, and that's it. You never know. The woman might be like, well, that's cool. I ain't doing nothing else anyway. I'm with it. You know what I mean? I've seen that happen before, right? So my point is we got to just put our cards on the table, right? You know, relevant cards, right? You know, of course, you don't have to go into your bank account, but, you know, your relevant cards on the table. You know, a person is interested in you for X reason, then we got to say, okay, is X a possibility? No. Okay, well, if X is not a possibility, let's let that person know. So we're not wasting that person's time, right? Because would you guys feel like you have, like any ask, and nobody, I didn't hear anybody really answer, but would you feel like you went on 6 or 7 dates with a person, and for whatever reason, you've been telling them, hey, this is why I'm so happy that I met you, because I think I want to, you know, be involved in this process, whatever it is, with you. That person didn't say anything because you're taking them to good places to eat, right? And then they finally say, hey, Jay, you know, I know you want to, you know, get down at some point, but I'm saving myself for marriage. I'm going to be like, what's that show? Let's Talk to Black Life. I'm going to be like Sister Annie, I'm saving myself. Right?
What,
right?
You're saving yourself, Annie?
Yes. There's a beautiful man out there somewhere. And
well, she has time. She's 20, no?
She's 20. She's 19.
If that's the case, she's supposed to be in the military, not here.
hey, this is not Israel, right? We got a choice of whether we want to be in the military or not. We got a lot of sisters in the military, but that's a whole another conversation. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Seriously, she is 19. And you are seriously 19?
Of course she's 19. You think I'm gonna let somebody up here that's over 19? Patrice is 19.
Funny. Seriously, how old you are, if I may ask?
But Vagoda, you may not ask. We don't in America. That's a faux pas to ask a woman her age. That is not in good taste. A faux pas. It is not in good taste.
Okay, not appropriate. Okay, sorry.
Right. That's like asking a man, "How long is your schlong?" You know, that's in bad taste.
What the?
Nice metaphor. Wonderful metaphor, Clarence. Wonderful metaphor.
What? Thank you. You got the point. I knew you'd get the point, Vagoda. I knew you're a smart guy. I knew you get the point. Okay, guys, let's start wrapping up. Okay, so now, we talked about this lady, right? We talked about her. Oh my God. Okay, I got it, Vagoda. You just had to do that. I got it. We got it. Okay.
Now I'm hungry.
All right. That's great. That's great. You got devil burgers there. Great. All right. So anyway,
we didn't hear that, bro.
Anyway, y'all, I got one more question and then we're gonna start wrapping up. Okay, here's my question.
Sorry, I had to.
This one's gonna be a tough one. Okay, I ain't gonna take it easy on you guys. It's gonna be a tough one here.
I can ask Satan if I can.
No, you cannot. All right. So Vagoda, you're supposed to be Jewish, man. Just act like you're better than us. Come on, man. You're supposed to be Jewish. All right. So anyway.
What?
Anyway. All right. So anyway, y'all. I got a question for all of you guys. And YouTube will go because I want to see how they get down in Israel. Okay, so should a man be able to have the preference of dating anybody he wants and without limitations? In other words,
what do you mean without limitation?
In other words, should there be a limit? In other words, should he be put down because he says, I don't want to date a woman that has children by another man already? Or vice versa. Should a woman be able to date, should people be able to date people and unlimited, the reasoning for why they want to exclude someone should be their own? Should we put pressure on people to say, no, you got to open up your dating pool to whoever's out there?
No.
Okay,
no.
Tell me why.
Go ahead, Vagoda. You go first.
Why me?
Because you said no first.
Okay. Okay, it's every person, if he doesn't want to date, if a woman doesn't want to date somebody, it's sad to say it, but yes, she can. Yes, she can.
Right? Is
If
that
she
a bad
doesn't
thing?
want, hmm?
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's sometimes piss off if a woman don't want to date with you for some dumb reason, but still, if she don't want to date with you, then that's it.
Okay.
And she doesn't need to feel like she's have to date with you because of her age or something. And if she has kids or you have kids, then it's a reason for her not or to the. It's what I'm trying to say. It could be a reason or not be a reason to date with you or not.
But I think what you're saying is she should have the right to exclude whoever she wants to exclude from her dating. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Am I getting it right?
Yeah, and also, Clarence, I'm sorry if you took it seriously that I showed the Satan. I just thought it
Oh
was
no,
very funny,
man,
and
no.
yeah, just
No. I know you got a crazy sense of humor, but I want to stay on the topic. So no, that's
okay.
it's not a problem, man. Not a problem. Plus,
At
everything
least I don't have
Hebrew.
honor killing.
Everything was in Hebrew, man. I was like, "Where we going, man? Everything's in Hebrew." I still got it up here on the screen. It's got the little devil right there in the left part of the window. But yeah, man, no problem, man. But I appreciate that. What about anybody else? Should people's preferences? Should there be a limitation to a person's preferences in dating?
No.
Well,
No.
I think. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
No, and I want you to go next. Actually, go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to go.
I think that whether a person outwardly expresses their preference or not, it's internally in them. So whether they say it or not, it's there. So I rather them, if a person doesn't want to, date someone who's 6'6", if they don't want to date someone that's a single mom, if they don't want to date someone who believes in God, I think that they have a right to that preference because it's in their heart. So I rather you don't waste my time or yours if I'm not your preference. Okay. So, and then, we can't help what we like. So if I don't like someone who curses all the time, I can't help that I don't like a whole bunch of cussing. That's just what I don't like. Now, could I date someone that, sporadically threw some words around? Maybe, but if I decided that was something that was just bothering me a whole lot, then I'm just going to step away from that because I'm either going to make facial gestures. I may behave differently, which is going to cause some rift within our relationship. So I just say, be honest about things that you feel very strongly about. There's some things that I used to think, okay. So like I haven't had many relationships, but, the guys have all been very ambitious, very goal-oriented, very wise and smart, and kind of hustle mentality. So that's what I'm used to. Does that mean that the next guy that I date, that he's gonna have that same kind of get up and go? Maybe not, but there, to some degree, he has to have some of that because there's a reason I was attracted to that. I need a man that has a mission. I'm in my heart, I am a helpmate. In my heart, I want to help make something grow. I'm water. I'm sunlight. And if I have nothing to help grow, I'm going to want to go somewhere and help something grow. So there's going to be an emptiness within me. So I can sit and ignore that about myself and then waste my time and this guy's time. But that's something I recognize about myself. So I would not want to prolong a time that he's going to be with somebody that's going to appreciate him for where he is and be okay. I don't want to use the word complacent because that doesn't mean that he's complacent or she's complacent. It just means that works for them. That wouldn't work for me. So I'm honest with myself about that. And I recognize that I have to be honest in who I allow to court me. So no, I don't think a person should have a limit. I think that if you have too big a list I think that you would be unfair to yourself, because to have somebody that's going to meet every one of those boxes, depending on what they are, it may be unrealistic. So now you're looking for something that may not be out there. So that's my answer.
Anybody else?
If
I
this
must
was,
say that, if I may say just for a second, first of all, Annie, shouts to you. That was a very wonderful speech. And if I may add to that, it's also the person needs to add to help you with stuff, to add it to you.
What?
I forgot the last part.
I said that the person, she said that she needs to help a person and that and stuff, and also that person needs to help her as well.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're doing good today,
Speech that was said. That's all.
Right,
Sorry.
Yeah, you're doing good today, man.
And you definitely deserve the best, if you ask me, from what I saw of you.
what I would say on that, Brother Clarence, is if this was my show, I'd have ended it on what Anae just said.
Yeah, I agree. She hit it.
I would have ended it on what Anae because Anae covered it all for men and for women. She covered it. She covered all bases. Nothing else needs to be said. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good night. Because to add anything to that would be pride. To add anything to that would be pride.
Okay, I'm going to take your counsel, Brother Bolo, but I just want to point out something Sister Annie said. I think we could to add what something she said earlier in the chat, that we all need to kind of internalize, all of us, and that is, I believe people should have the right to their preference, even when I'm not it. All right, so we got to be open to the fact that maybe you're not on the list, maybe you're not the one, but we all should be entitled to our preference, and we all should be entitled. Now, Sister Annie is the type of sister that I think other sisters can look at and say, okay, you know what, that makes sense. That's wifey material. Because when you hear somebody talk like that, that's wifey material, man. That's just a good sister. And if you put it in the right environment, things are gonna get popping. So, but I agree with you, Bolo. To keep on adding to that probably wouldn't be smart. So let us, all of y'all, start doing some closing remarks so we can get out of here. How about that? Let's start with Vagoda. Vagoda, got any closing remarks, my man?
Not much. I'm going out to sleep. It's 1 in the morning, 1:23 in the morning.
Okay.
You keep me late so much. Yeah. Yeah, and well, I don't have too much to say. Just have a wonderful day and be safe.
You too, Vagoda,
and I hope you don't do any animal killing in the gay pride.
No,
in the gay month.
You can't say that, Vagoda. You cannot say that in America. You can say that over there in Israel, but you can't say that.
You doing good, Vagoda.
Yeah, you can. You was on a roll, man. You were on a roll, man. Stay on your roll today.
Sorry.
All right, man. Thank you, Vagoda. Appreciate you for bringing it, coming up, brother. I appreciate you. I'm gonna pull you down, man. Thank you so much.
Just joking, of course. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, I know you joking, but that community doesn't take kindly to jokes, man. So it ain't gonna come looking for you. They gonna come looking for me, right? All right. That was brother Vagoda. Vagoda did all right today, man. You know what I'm saying? He did all right today. I got to give him credit for that. All right. Let's see who else. Hey, let's go to Jay. Brother Jay, what's going on, man?
Well, first of all, great topic, great show, Brother Clarence. I watched like the first 2 hours. I had to go out for a little while because I had to get ready, get up and doing some stuff over here. But everything NA said was on point. That's why I didn't say anything. I'm like, once you say what I already thought, I'm like, there's no point in me saying it. But that hit for both men and women. So I'm really glad that she said that. And I will say this as a caveat. God, I only speak to the men. I can't speak to the ladies right now. Because I'm the only one ladies can to talk to each other particularly because they don't want to hear us, but we'll still tell you regardless. So for men out there, if you're not the things that you are, that you say you are, please by us, the other guys. Don't waste that lady's time, and do us all a favor, and do us all a favor to not spread bullshit around, because that makes other men look bad. Because you don't represent me, I can tell you that. You're not going to. And if you think that you do, and like I said, if you think that you do, trust me, you're sadly delusion, like the ladies who want rich dudes. Simple enough. So that's me grilling y'all. On the other hand, to the men out there who are about their code, about their purpose, like us out here trying to go out and do what we got to do. Like I said, just keep at your work. Practice abstinence if you're really gonna go that to that level, take it to that level, and be of that fortitude and mind to do it. And I'm gonna tell you one thing else. Practice some good meditation with some exercise. Trust me, it'll keep your mind off of it for a good while. Because those are the two things that I know that actually works. At least that I've talked to other guys and it worked for them. And like I said, be about your purpose. Don't lie about what you have. Make sure you build your character to the best of your ability, and surround yourself with a group of men that keep you in check. I got that. So trust me, that keep me. I don't make stupid decisions, but I keep them in case one dumb idea come out. Like, Jay, you can't do that. Even you can't do that. But like, yeah, just be sensible, and also some guys out there who, if you are saving yourselves for marriage, particularly, I had to talk about this with one of my guys, and it's not, most men won't agree with this, but I gotta agree with this. If you have never, pleasured a woman in your life, goddamn. Honestly, I don't recommend men should ever pay for sex. I do not recommend that personally for me, because that doesn't apply to me. It applies to them because they've been with a woman. I would recommend an escort for you. And the reason why is because I don't care what you watch, what you study, there is no better, hate to say it, practice than the real fucking thing, or someone who's more experienced than you. Because I would rather you do that than you go to a prostitute. Now,
you know what, man? I gotta.
That's what I'm gonna use it today. I'm sorry.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. We at Let's Talk to Better Black Life, the family here, we do not endorse we do not endorse breaking any of your state or local laws at all, right? So I think that the best thing to do is to find somebody who is interested in you. If they're interested in you and your character, even if they have more experience than you, they will bring you up to speed. Female or male, they will bring you up to speed. And if you care about them enough, if you care about them, well, you can tell me what you think about it after I say it, Jay. Let me get this out. So if you care about the person enough, you can bring that person up to speed and you can make them a superstar, right? But the thing is, this is where people go wrong. They have a significant other and they think that they're in a competition with them as far as sexual prowess. And we're not competing with our significant other with sexual prowess. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take them to, give them as much gratification as we can. That's what we're trying to do. Because why? Because it goes back to our hearts. What kind of person are we? And what kind of feeling do we have for this person? And we want them to be if we're going to spend our time with them, we're going to want them to be gratified. We want them to get something out of it. So my point is this: yes, you can do like what Jay said, but I think that it's going to be it's a better you're gonna have a better outcome, because you learn a lot from escort, but you're gonna have a better outcome if you're learning with somebody who you can not only talk to, but you got not only the sexual relationship, but you have the other part, like Bolo was saying, the other parts of a relationship as well. In my opinion, you're going to link faster, and you're going to learn faster, in my opinion. Okay. But what is your pushback on that, Jay?
No, I agree. And listen, the thing is, I don't recommend men lying about what they haven't not done. Like I said, I've been on a lot of these
Agreed.
particularly. It's just that for me, and they might have, because I've actually talked to some of my guys who've actually. Don't worry, I'm not gonna call their names because the brothers they know who they are. But my thing is, they built themselves up when they didn't have that confidence from back then to where they're financially set, their mindset. They can talk to ladies, but they do not have the knowledge to like particularly pleasure them in bed, particularly. And the thing is, that's something. And like I said, everybody's different. I get that. I would just rather you not. I don't want you to go in like you were in high school. I would rather you go on with some sense of experience going in and just learn something. Of course, now this is now the reason why I didn't say if your wife was also a virgin as well. That's extreme. Like those are the rarities I'm talking about. Like you're in luck, but at the same time, I suggest if you're both going, then that's a W in a sense that she doesn't know anything because she technically kind of maybe lady expecting you to lead how this goes down because everyone's first time is just terrible. Everyone knows that. But it's what you do afterwards to make up for that. And I think all of us, like most men I've talked to, have all had that bad first experience. And then after that, you're better the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, things like that. It's just about because I think more often than not, ladies like for you to be leading them, particularly if you know what you're doing, they have less things to worry about. But also that it is a communication and talk, what you just said. I will not rule that out. That I've always said that has to be a talk about something she wants to try out, something you want to try out, particularly of that. I just want men to understand, like, guys, just come in with a little bit of some experience, but also have a conversation with your significant other. Because most girls, I swear to you, I say girls, most women, that I very rarely will I ever hear like, oh, I don't mind that particularly, but it's out there, but I can't say it's the minority majority, but it's all about communication and about how you're gonna convey that to your partner. But like I said, especially, but I'm saying this before you're married. But if you're married, listen, this woman you're laying down with, bro, you guys have to update. I'm not saying compete with one another, which is that's why I didn't mean to laugh at what you said when you say compete with one another. That's kind of hilarious. When I heard that, I was like, wait, we're competing? Like, what is this? Like duration time? What were we grading? So things like that. But I see what you're saying, and and that's my only takeaway. I think you're right in the sense of communication, but like I said, I think experience needs to be there particularly. And I think if, like I said, as long as you
well let me say this, Jay. Let me clear this up.
Issue, I think.
Let me clear this up real quick. The difference between people that are in long-term relationships and people that are casually having casual sex is that competition. When you're in a long-term relationship,
okay, I see what you mean.
You're not competing with this person, right? You don't have to, right? You don't have to put on this grand show. I got to do this big show, and I got to pull out all of these different things, right? Because you're in competition with this person, right? And so you got to put your best show on, or they're not going to come back and see you no more, right?
Yeah.
But when you're in a in a long-term relationship, that pressure is gone. So that's what I'm saying. It's that's the difference between those two environments. Now, the environment you're talking about, that's an environment for people that's looking for a certain thing. And so I'm not. But today,
I see what you mean now. You said casual, and I'm like, that's where I might have missed you on that.
Okay, but what I'm talking about today. What I was alluding to today, and I didn't go into it all the way, is basically people that are looking for long-term relationships. And if you're interested in that, what's the best way to achieve that? So that's what I was talking about. So that's I think where you're approaching one situation and I'm approaching another situation. Now we're talking about sex, but sex in one situation is going to be different than sex in another situation. So I just want to clear that up, man. But anyway, I want to let you finish, man.
No, I'm done. And the thing, like I said, I just want to encourage men to because like I said, I don't want relationships to be broken because you're not good in bed with your lady, particularly, especially if you're married to her. That's a real reason to divorce a man, particularly. But I can understand why the women are coming from that. Particularly,
wait. Say that again.
I said what I particularly don't want to hear because I hear it a lot is just like women divorcing their men because they're not good in bed, like crazy. It's just why you hear that and they just go, I'm like, okay.
That's something else.
That's all kind of words we can talk about, like backstage, brother.
All right, I got it.
If you're available.
Okay.
But I think is, guys, check out Brother Clarence channel. Shout out to Ine here. Shout out to my man Bolo TV. Like I said, I got to talk with him again because it's been a minute. And guys, like I said, just be sure to subscribe to this channel. Seriously. Like I said, check out the work and this man does. He's great. One of the OG cats I like talking to a lot. Even though I don't be on a lot, guys. Like I said, I'm still studying. I got my own things I'm taking care of right now. And like I said, just be sure to leave a comment in below. Like I said, it helps this video. It helps the algorithm, all that jazz. And with that being said, y'all, I got to do some shopping today. I got to pick up groceries now.
Jay, before you go, when's the next time we can see you, man? When's the next time you're gonna be up?
Be live. I'm thinking. You know what's so funny? I'm actually thinking of doing a live. I guess particularly because I like to have you guys on as well. I'm thinking of doing a live.
Let me know.
Sometime. Maybe Tuesday. Cause I have a Tuesday off coming this Tuesday.
Okay.
And I actually want to talk about well, like I said, what men can do to get themselves in gears, and also particularly I want to add ladies in particular question, like about soul ties and things like that. Do they even believe in that?
Okay.
And I'm gonna make that like a double topic to talk about. I'm gonna have some guys come on around that time. I'll do it around. I think I'll do it around maybe like 8 or 7, somewhere around there, just so we can start a little bit early and I can get the crowd in around.
So you like Bolo, right? We don't know if it's your Pacific's time or Central time. We don't know Eastern time. We don't know,
it's right? Eastern time. Like I'm sorry.
Oh,
there we go.
That's wrong, brother. That's wrong.
Okay. All right. I thought you were taking a page out of Bolo TV. Because they'll tell you what time, but not the AM to PM.
That would not go well for any of y'all. Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, it's good to see you, man. Always, once again, man. Tell your brother we said what's up and appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming up. If you haven't already subscribed to Jay Takashi, get on over there and subscribe to Jay Takashi. He said he's gonna have a stream over here next couple of days, right? But he said Tuesday. So he's gonna let us know, and we'll see him over there, right? All right, shout out to you, Jay. I'm gonna put you down, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. All right, that was Jay Takashi in the building. Now, let me clear something up, man. All right, so Jay is he's a young man, and he speaks from these younger men perspective, right? And so sometimes guys like myself, maybe even Bolo, maybe even Vaughn, we talk from we got a little bit more knots on our head, so we already know certain things probably need to stay from, right? So but Jay was talking about how people are getting divorced from being the man's not being good in bed. Let me tell you something. The woman didn't just figure out 5 years later that the man wasn't good in bed. There's something else going on, brother. So there's something else going on, right? But she was willing to take either she married someone where she said, I'm not going to take the time to educate this man to my needs, or she tried to educate the man, and the man refused to be educated because he said, I ain't never had no complaints, right? But because a lot of men are like that. I never had no complaints. Why? Because women ain't going to complain. They just going to go somewhere else, right? They just going to go shoot and leave somewhere else, right? So that, plus it could be some other things going on in the relationship. So therefore, I don't want people to think somebody been with somebody for 10 years, married to somebody for 10 years, and all of a sudden one day they figure out, oh, the sex ain't no good. No, maybe there was an injury, maybe there was a accident, maybe something happened, maybe there was a health condition changed or something like that, or maybe the wife is not in a state of allurement anymore, right? Because women should be our muse, right? We should look at our woman and say, man, dang, man, she looked good, right? And so that motivate us to still be sexually active. But sometimes some women have the misunderstanding of not that they don't have to do that anymore, right? They're not in competition with the rest of the world, and you still in competition because your man is going out there to the workplace, and there's women all over the place. So anyway, just want to clear that up. Okay, let's have Brother Bolo, and then I'm gonna give Sister Annie the last word. Brother Bolo.
Yes, sir.
What's your last word, man?
My last word is, I understand where Jay Takashi was trying to come from, but I disagree.
Me too, yeah.
I understand where he was trying to come from. That's one of the problems, because What people don't understand is when you sleep with someone, you spiritually leave an imprint. And if you and this woman can explore this world together because both of you are inexperienced, that will just grow you guys together more. Because when you're dealing with the woman, coming from a man's perspective, when you're dealing with the woman that is experienced, she's coming from pleasuring other men. You may not like that. This has been second nature to her. So now that's just more you have to break. And vice versa with the man. So if you two can grow together in all aspects of your four bodies, that's much better. It's less madness that you have to go through and more of you guys fitting together like hand in glove. So when they tell you to go out there and bag up 50 women before you get into a relationship, you are causing yourself you're causing yourself harm, much more harm than good.
Great.
Much more harm than good. Because the problem isn't you trying to find 50 women. The problem is trying to find that one woman that you can get together with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times when you have had that, you're always searching for that next rush. This is why people, they elevate from weed to crack, from crack to heroin, from heroin to angel dust, because they're always chasing that high. That high is never, the first high is never the same because now you're chasing it. You can never have that first high again unless you elevate into a different drug. So I would, say to women and to men, nah, having sex and becoming a proficient professional at having sex does not make a good relationship because there's a lot of demons that you take. Spiritually, there's an imprint on both of you. So that would be my last thing. And I would say that, Nate was on fire today. She was shooting.
Always.
She was on fire, rapid fire.
Always.
Rapid fire.
Always.
So I just say that. And, first of all, I didn't appreciate you telling me that I don't give people Pacific Standard Time or whatever time that I give them.
Is somebody in chat, am I telling a story? Am I telling a story? This man tell you what time zone he's in?
Let me mute
There
up.
we go.
Tune in to me at 7. I go, Bolo, I'm on the West Coast. What do you mean 7? My time, 7 your time? What, in the morning? What? When?
Here we go. Here we go.
I love you.
You might. Hey, listen. You're right. You might get a phone call at 4:00 tomorrow morning.
All right, brother, when's the next time we can see you, beloved? When's the next time we can see you guys on the village?
7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
He's learning, y'all. He's learning. He got it. He got it. All right. Now you're a professional.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. I thank you for the work that you're doing, Sister Anae. Thank you for being the example of what Christ-like woman, a Christ-like wife, the example of what she should be. Thank you for being that, and thank you for being brave enough to come on these different platforms to shine your beacon of light. So
agreed.
Thank you.
Agreed. I said it better myself.
With that, I'll say blessings to all of you guys in the chat. Have a lovely day. Holla. Love you all.
All right, love you, brother. Appreciate it. All right, man. That's a good brother. I'm gonna bring him down, man. Brother Bolo. Appreciate you, man. He just has an issue with telling you what time zone he's in, but he's a good dude. He's a good dude, though. He's a good dude. We just got to bring him along, Sister Annie. We just bring him along, and then we'll have it. And then he'll be like, Clarence, I told you I'm going on 7 p.m. I know Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 your time. Oh, okay. Now, see, I got it all right now, right? All right, sis. I appreciate you for coming up. I appreciate you for spending the all of this time with us. I appreciate you. And so I wanted to give you the last word because you did, Bolo. You did good too, brother. You did good. I'm gonna give you your props, man. You did good. But I want to thank you for coming up because when other sisters see you coming, see sisters up on a panel not being attacked, they feel like, oh man, it's everything is cool up there. I can go listen. I can go participate in the chat. It makes other people more comfortable when they see a sister, you know, black women, right? Because in this space, we're supposed to be beating up black women, right? What? You know, whatever you say, I'm supposed to be pushing back 100 times on it, right? But when they see, even if we might disagree, we'll still be not even cordial, because we way past cordial. We will be loving to each other, but you know, we still will say, because you know, we just got that love for each other, and we got that love and respect for other men and women that's trying to do right. So I thank you for coming up, and I want to let you get the last word in, sis.
Well, first I want to thank you for making this a safe place for me to come up to. I couldn't feel safe if you didn't make sure that I felt, you know, that I feel protected, and I feel like you listen. So
Try.
it's oftentimes that, like, when you have something to say, if people are like talking over you, that you feel like your voice is not being heard, and I've never felt that way over here. So I thank you for doing that. And I believe so much in what it is that your mission and your purpose is. So I feel like I need to attach myself to your purpose, because if there's any way that God can help me to utilize any gifts that he's given me to help uplift that, I want to be a part of it. So I thank you for allowing me to be a part of what I know is going to be something really big and huge for you. I apologize for causing some of your conversation to shift, because I think that
Nah,
that
not a problem.
paycheck
Not a problem.
conversation, I definitely want you to do that one, because I think that that's a big issue for a lot of us, that we just don't have our finances in order. And when we're living paycheck to paycheck, we're just one bad decision away from a really dramatic change in our life. And it would be helpful if you, you know, share some nuggets of ways that people can do something differently to see if they can have a different outcome. So I'm really looking forward to that. With your topic with the 6'6" and with her being a virgin. So I think some of what I'm going to say, it may just be a little bit different from how I talk, but I think it's important to say. So if it comes out a little bit where it sounds like I'm not, you know, sweet and then I apologize for that. So I would say this. I don't know this woman, but like I said, her being 6'6", I'm sure that she may not be one of the women that is automatically noticed in a room. She's noticed for her height, but noticed in the way that she gets attention. And sometimes when you are feeling overlooked for whatever reason, hers may be her height, overlooked because you're a virgin, overlooked because you're a single mom, overlooked because whatever the thing is that you feel that you're overlooked for. And some of it is not like you're making something up. People may actually literally be overlooking you for that thing. That one, you have to build yourself up to be strong in what you believe about yourself. Because if we wait for other people to validate us and make us feel important, we'll be waiting for a really long time. And even if we wait for somebody to make us feel important, and then that person stops making us feel important, now we're lost. You know, so I would just say whatever it is that you, and not just a woman, because men have the same thing. You know, a man, you know, what they can say, that Napoleon complex. So like a man that's maybe shorter than the average size of a man that maybe doesn't have the education, doesn't have the finances, or, you know, doesn't have the networking, or doesn't have the car. There's always something that somebody can point to and say that you're the not. But you got to know that you are the am. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, God says, I am. And we're in his image. So do all that you can to build yourself up, your confidence, your self-esteem. It's not something that's easy. Everybody suffers from something that they don't feel so good about themselves. Everybody does. I don't care who it is. There's something they feel they lack in. And even if they feel like they don't lack it in the vision of somebody, you know, person A, person B looks at you and they say that you're lacking. You know, so it's about what you think of yourself. And when it comes to here's the part where it may shift a little bit, but the part where it comes to like with sex. So here's the thing, whether you're a virgin or you're not a virgin, we will be pleased. Everybody's not going to always please us the way that we want to be pleased. So even if you're with somebody that has pleased you 500-600 times, if they don't please you right in the 601 time, what are they now, bad? You know, so that's why, like, I keep emphasizing this friendship thing, because I'm not a virgin. I'm not presenting myself as a virgin. What I would say is an experience that I've had is that I've just enjoyed being with the person. So even if the sex was not good, it wasn't something that was so noticeable to me because I enjoyed being with the person. So the more that you develop this desire for being mentally stimulated, being spiritually stimulated, you know, enjoying the presence of each other. Now this is something that I like. I like a guy, like when I go out, I want to see how creative you can be with $8. How can you help me have fun with $8? How much fun can we have and it's free? You know, because I don't want you to always feel like that you have to spend a lot of money, because you could be spending a lot of money and I'm not having a good time. You could take me to a restaurant with some food that I don't even enjoy, you know. So take the time to like learn each other. First of all, take the time to learn you. And it's an ever learning process. But take the time to learn you. Recognize what things are your places that are challenges, things that you struggle with, and then be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? You may not, like right now, I'm squishy, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to go to the gym. I need to do cardio. I went walking today, but I gotta, you know, so.
Wait a minute. Did you say squishy?
I'm squishy. But I'm okay right now that I'm squishy. And I know that might not be as desirable to every man, but I'm okay with it for myself. So I know that I want to work on it for myself, and I want to be with a man who's okay with it squishy, but understand that I want to be more toned than what I am, and that's patient with me as I transition from that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have this ideal weight or this ideal you know, I have the car that I have. I'm not gonna say what kind it is, but I have the car that I have. That might be something that people look at and say, "Oh, you know," but I don't want somebody thinking that they have to have the same thing that they have to have the same things that I have, or they feel like I don't have exactly what they have, so it's not enough. So we just got to learn to be comfortable with ourselves and whatever that is. I say, people, honestly, look in the mirror while you're naked a lot. Just so you can just be happy with what you see. You know, because we want to look over we want to look over the places that we're not exactly perfect, and we don't even, some people, they don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. So you're not even willing to be happy with yourself, accept yourself. So love on you a whole lot. Be with somebody that's going to be gentle and patient with you. And pray for discernment when people are not that, so that you're not wasting your time, they're not wasting their time. So it's not easy for us on a day-to-day basis to just totally be happy with ourselves and totally be happy with the people in front of us. But I think that when you love someone and you develop this friendship, and like Sima said, loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think like people that don't walk away, y'all. Stay. Somebody has to stay. Not where it's putting your life in jeopardy, where you're in danger, but stay. We walk away too easy, y'all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We walk away too easy. And I don't want to, this is nothing to Jay, but we were talking about something. I can't remember exactly what question you asked him. Something about like, would you feel like it's wasted time? And he started saying something about like with Christians or whatever. I'm saying, like, that's we get so busy in like labels and titles and the things that separate us, when it's about you. Would you feel cheated? Would you feel slighted? Don't worry about if you're slighted because you're a Christian, if you're slighted because you spent the money. Do you feel slighted? if you do, that's you. You have a right to not want to be with somebody. You have a right to feel like you're gypped. Acknowledge that you feel that way. But what I'm saying is, when you walk away, be ready that when you walk away, that the person you walked away from may close the door and there's no way to get back in. So just be, I just want us to be patient and gentle with each other. We don't do that enough. And that's why, that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you, Brother Clarence, is that you can be on a stream and you're by yourself, and I feel like you're talking to me even though nobody's there. And I bet you touch each person that's listening like that. You like you really care about them for whatever the subject matter is that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you want people
Thank
that
you, sir.
I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna help you. I know that this thing is rough. I know that you've been through a lot. I know that the world sees you this way, but I see you. I see you. It's important for me for somebody to hear me. Like I say this a lot. Can you hear me? I need somebody to just listen, even when I'm busy in my like I'm rambling right now.
You're fine. You are 100% fine. Somebody out there, you are pulling somebody literally out of the water. So go ahead, sis. Take your time.
No, but we go through a whole lot. There's a lot that I've been through in my life. There's a lot of experiences that have been hurtful. Like last month, one of the things, like when I was traveling a lot, one of my really good friends passed away, and that was tough. That was really tough for me. I didn't even he lived where I used to live. His wife, when she called me and she told me, I just kind of broke a little bit because it was hard. And I think about like all the things that he invited me to. Like he invited me to his wedding. He invited me to his monumental birthday celebration. And I'm thankful for that. So while I miss him already, while I miss that I'm going to, when I go there to visit, that I'm not going to be able to see him, I'm thankful for all the memories that he allowed me to have with him that are stronger even now because he's not here. And we take for granted that a person is going to be there. People are not going to always be there. We take people for granted. We take people for granted. So I just say I thank you so much for where I know in your heart you mean everything that you say, that you're there for people, that you want to uplift people, that you truly want to make a better Black life. And I feel it in every one of your streams. So I thank you for that. But I would just say, and I'm going to just end it here because I don't even know where I am with anything. But I pray that, and I pray that was God speaking through me, because it just really was
like it to me.
Place, and I don't even know what I just said, but I'm praying that people recognize that, one, you are worthy. You are worthy. You do not have to shrink in spaces because maybe you feel like, oh, I'm 6'6", oh, I'm a virgin, oh, I'm this. Somebody recognizes you. Somebody sees you. Somebody loves you. Somebody wants to be there for you. Let them be there for you. Let them be there for you. Because it's a hard thing to always feel like something about something you can't hide. Like her being 6'6", she can't hide being 6'6". You know what I'm saying? Like she's not going to walk in a room with her on her knees. So there's some things about us that are so evident just when we walk into a space. Just know that when you walk into that space, everybody's not seeing you as 6'6". Somebody's seeing you as, oh my gosh, there she is. There he is. So just know that there's somebody out there for you. It may not be the person that you want, because we see people, we're attracted to how somebody looks or how somebody made me feel. You could be in the YouTube arena, you could be somewhere and somebody's saying really nice things. You're like, oh man, that's sweet that he says that. That's nice. And you start developing these like feelings, just start making them your play boyfriend or your play girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
But I would say to something like that, don't feel bad about it, because we've all done it. We've all done it. Somebody got a celebrity crush, right?
Yes.
Acknowledge what it is about them that made you feel like that. So if it was that they listen, recognize that in you, that you need somebody to listen. So don't run away from stuff just because it may seem like it's a little bit odd. I don't run away from it because I've had a bunch of play boyfriends. And what I do is I just say to myself, what is it about him that made me make that little joke to myself? And I take that and I put that pen over to the side. You know what I'm saying? So like when the guy courts me and I like him, I'm going to recognize that one of those pens or a few of those pens that I have, he met them. So I'll be happy with that. So I just want you to keep doing what you're doing, Brother Clarence.
Thank you.
Your patience for, even like I said, just even me rambling, Vagoda coming up here wanting to show pictures, Bolo not telling time stamps and stuff like that. Like just your patience through all these different conversations. And I've been watching you for a while before I even came up here, and you have just really been consistent about who you are, and I thank you for that. I thank God for that. I thank God for you wanting to have this channel and for you being so consistent and diligent in what you're doing. So I've said this to you before and I say this to you again. However it is that I am able to help you in this purpose, in this mission that you have, I am here for you. Whether you see me frequently on panels or in chats and stuff, because I think that it's about to start getting a little bit busy for me in another space, and another thing that I'm doing. So I may not be as as frequently on channels. I'm gonna try to make it, because even if it's just that I show up, like the other day, like yesterday, I wanted to come on so bad. Revelations 18 was so good. But I was driving from like a rural area.
We understand.
The reception kept going out. So like for probably about 45 minutes, I didn't hear anything you said. But I want to be able to support you and be there for you. So I thank you. I absolutely love you.
Same here,
and
I
love Vaughn. I love Bolo. I love OG Patrice, Teresa Neal.
Yeah, same here.
Jill. I just love y'all so much.
Yes.
And thank you so much for having me.
Of course, always, sis, always. And thank you for coming up and representing the sisters in the best and finest way. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, girl, I'm gonna put you down. Good to see you.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too, sis. All right, love you. All right. You know what? Let me tell y'all something. There's people out there that didn't even hear what this sister was saying. There's people out there didn't hear what Bolo was saying. People out here didn't hear what Jay was saying, didn't hear what Brigada was saying. They missed this whole live stream because they thought they was doing something that they was getting more out of it. I thank God for our little family, man, our little community, man. I thank God for it, man, because everybody is a heavy hitter. Everybody is a home run hitter. But just the general, we are the Negro Leagues, right? But the Negro Leagues had just outstanding baseball players. But the white leagues just didn't know about them, right? And didn't want to play against them because they were scared of them, right? They're scared of us that's over here that's telling the truth. They're scared of us. And for whatever reason, right? But the other bigger, communities or YouTubers, right? They should be bringing us all on, right? They should be bringing a sister like any on, man. Here's a sister can tell you, hey, this is how you should move. She ain't telling you she perfect. She just saying she just moves like a sister that, hey, you would say to yourself, that's wifey material right there, right? I think a lot of sisters don't understand that men, we gonna categorize you. You either wifey material or you not. Now that you're not wifey material, are you casual sex material? We just gonna categorize you. Look at these split just like that. So you want to be put in the wifey category. But Clarence, if I'm in the wife category, I ain't gonna go on that many dates. Good. You're right. You're right. That's gonna reduce your dating pool down a lot. Because only responsible dudes are gonna really be willing to fit that bill. Dudes that don't want to be responsible, they're gonna leave you in the dust. Same thing with men, right? Sometimes a woman. Hold on, y'all. Somebody knocking at my door. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. The Muslims coming knocking at my door, man. Hey, can I talk to you, bro? I said, bro, I'm on the air right now. I'm on the air right now, man. You got to come back. He said, all right, I'm going to come back, man. We going to come back. I said, give me about an hour. Sorry, man. I'll come back. All right, so anyway, we got good people over here, man. We got good people in the village, good people here, people that could just teach. You got Bolo that could teach for hours. Myself, I can get it in for a couple of hours, right? You got Vaughn, you got Annie, you got Patrice. Oh my God, Patrice. You got Rico. You got so many different people. You got Lyric over there. You got so many people that can teach, right? But nobody want to hear from us, man. They don't want to hear from us. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them at all. If God sent us to teach these little 6 people, that's what we're here to teach. And we're gonna teach 6 people like we teaching 6,000, as Bolo would say. We're gonna teach these 6 like we teaching 6 million. Right? We ain't gonna cut no corners on you, right? And I'm glad to have y'all. Risa, I'm glad to have all of y'all over here.